Greetings everybody, Rakandar here. Welcome back to the channel today with another Legends of Runeterra video. In today's video, I am bringing you guys a new deck for the channel, one that I have also been interested in. If you've watched the last video, you know that I got annihilated in my gameplay by playing Keg Control. However, this time we were able to actually come out on top playing some Nautilus Deep. The sea monsters, they stir, restless beneath the sea, and it's time for them to take revenge and devour those who dare challenge them. So for today's video, if that wasn't enough, we are going deep with Nautilus. This is actually a deck that I have been somewhat interested in ever since it got announced. Deep sea monsters has always been kind of something I really wanted to look at and figure out back when Bilgewater first released, but it was probably the most hyped out of all of the new archetypes. Like, as soon as they announced sea monsters in general, the community really looked to want, like, they really wanted to jump in on the sea monsters and on the Nautilus. So I didn't really want to face I've expressed many times that my dislike for mirror matches, and so in order to avoid that, I tried to explore other concepts first. But now that the initial hype for the archetype has died down, and the ranked ladder is a lot more kind of stabilized on a few certain decks, we can go ahead and start playing them. I did have to craft Nautilus as well. Thankfully, this game is incredibly free-to-play friendly. I literally don't play this for very long each week for various reasons, but like, I don't even have to play this for like multiple hours. I literally jumped in, like literally just playing like 6 to 7 hours a week is enough for me to grind up some resources to pick up cards, which is, I think, quite phenomenal for a card game in general. Other card games in the past that I've had to play, or that I've played, you pretty much have to grind like every single day. You have to put in like anywhere between 2 to 5 hours a day during doing certain things like events, grinding in-game resources, all this kind of stuff, which is really just an insane amount of time commitment, especially if you have to actually work. Some of those other card games do have the luxury of being mobile, which this now also has the luxury of being mobile, but like, that's no excuse to force your players to have to go in every single day and play the game. But luckily this game doesn't do that. Like, I was honestly quite surprised how easy it was to finish crafting this deck, given how little time I've been able to put into it. I thought I'd have to wait even longer to finish crafting Nautilus. But yeah, so we finished crafting him, and this is Deep. This is going to be a take on Deep that I really enjoyed. I gained a lot of inspiration from Mogwai once again, and this is pretty much card for card the deck that he showcased on one of his videos. I looked at the list and compared it to some of the other lists, and I really preferred this for the current metagame. This is something that he crafted to counter the current metagame, and it works wonders. So right now, some of the strongest decks going around right now, the most common and popular decks, there is the Darius Spider aggro deck. There is there's Twisted Fate Ezreal, which I actually didn't see too much, but we did climb from silver, and so that's a more complicated deck to play against, or to actually play as, and so because of that, it's probably not going to see much playtime in silver ranking, and we actually climbed out of silver for today's video. That's kind of the theme for today's video, is I'm climbing out of silver into gold with the Deep archetype. And honestly, this is probably going to be, I've said this for a few decks, but this might actually be the one that I use to climb the highest. This deck honestly surprised me at how much fun I had, even in the mirror match, to be honest. I was having a lot of fun playing against other Deep decks. We do end up taking a couple of wins against them, and it was a lot of fun to play out. I don't know what it is, but this deck just feels incredible to play. So yeah, this deck, like I was saying, is specifically designed to counter the Darius aggro deck, the Ezreal Twisted Fate deck, and the Braum Anivia control deck. So it's those three particular meta decks that are being played quite a lot right now, and this deck has teched in cards to try and counter those. A lot of deep decks will play things like Hapless Aristocrat as well, and you'll notice that that's missing because it doesn't really get much value when you're trying to chump block Overwhelm units, you know? Big old Darius comes in with 10 attack and Overwhelm, and a 1 drop with 1 HP is just going to get annihilated, as you would expect. So our goal here is to try and beat them down. We do have 3 copies of the Dead Bloom Wanderer. This is more of a kind of standard pick for the deck list, but this is essential for today's aggressive meta. And then we also have Thorny Toad, which is nice for healing, and that's honestly quite the kind of the name of the game right now, is we're trying to heal up as much as we possibly can from the aggression that the enemy decks have been or that the decks at the moment are, you know, thrown around. And for those who are new to Deep, basically your goal is to survive the early game, toss your cards using cards that have toss enabled when they get summoned, or using Maokai. And then when you have 15 or less cards in your deck, you are now in Deep. And Deep status is permanent. Once you hit 15 or lower, you will remain Deep, even though something like leveled up Nautilus will copy tossed allies that cost 4+ back into your deck. So he basically recycles some of those units. That way, if you're, you know, tossing a lot of your big sea monsters, he'll just put them back in so that you can potentially pick them, draw them back. We are running Atrocity. This is pretty much a standard, like, if you're playing this deck and you're not playing Atrocity, you're doing something wrong. And we are playing Shipwreck Hoarder as a 1 copy. I think this card's fantastic. We've had a lot of really fun, just great opportunities to Hearthstone the treasures a few times, and they came in pretty clutch, especially this one. We managed to take quite a lot of, get a lot of value out of the vicious plate worm that this spawned in. I think this is probably one of the better ones, and then the Keel Breaker is pretty solid. Deal 5 to all units. This can be good. And then Treasure Trove is also solid as well. Create 5 random cards in hand. They cost 0. This is any card. I misplayed quite heavily in one of my games where I thought it was just spells. This is not just spells. It will be any card. And that's pretty much the deck. Devourer of the Depths is probably the best sea monster in the game. The Obliterate that he does is just disgusting. Obliterate in general is a very, very potent removal tool. Your opponent does have ways to deal with this by, like, maybe you know, dealing damage to the monster itself, because it does require the enemy to have less health, or by removing it. But for the most part, this just puts in a ton of work, just nukes enemies, and it's really great. Grasp and Withering Whale, pretty standard stuff in Shadow Isles right now for control strategies, and Abyssal Eye as our other sea monster of choice. We are running Riptide. This is probably one of the best cards in the game. Not only does it stun something, but if you have Nautilus on the field, it is a hard removal by shuffling them back into the deck. Non-kill removal strats are really, really important in a game like this that has ways to revive cards. This will bypass things like Anivia and the Harrowing, and other ways, you know, Rekindler, things that will revive a card. This will bypass them if you just simply shuffle them back to the deck. Really fantastic card. Can also be used early game to stun and, you know, a strong unit that you don't want to be, that you don't want swinging in on you, such as Darius. You know, turn 6, if they have a Darius and you are struggling, you can just, you know, use the Riptide to stun them. So really solid card. I think this is really important in the deck as well. And then, like I said, the early game, Jaw Hunters is fantastic, gives you a card in hand, and then if your opponent is playing something like the Noxus aggro deck, they're not going to have any meaningful way to remove this card. They don't want to use their damage to go into your units, they want to use it to go to your face. And you can also use this on their turn 4 play hold this into your hand. Do not play it immediately. Don't let them know that you have this available. And then when they play their 6/4 with Overwhelm, you can challenge it and kill it immediately and not take any damage. So yeah, that's pretty much the deck. I had a blast. I had a ton of fun with this deck, and I'm going to stop rambling because this deck tech's going on, this like introduction's going on a lot longer than I expected it to. I'm trying to make sure these are low or slower, so I do apologize, but yeah, the deck is fun, really fantastic. I definitely recommend it. We managed to climb into gold with this, and I hope to continue climbing as we go forward. So yeah, if you enjoyed, please leave a like down below. It really means a lot to the channel, helps the channel out a lot. YouTube likes it when those buttons get pressed, so it would mean a lot to press them. Subscribe and hit the bell notification if you want videos. I upload every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. So if you are interested in more Legends of Runeterra content, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification to stay up to date with videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy the clips. I like opening up the Nautilus here. Oh, got some Yetis going on. There's the dredgers. I think we'll play the Thorny Toad. I think we'll go ahead and pass here.
Patience.
You could have a transfusion to stop this, but I'm actually going to go ahead and threaten his 3/3.
Fresh is worth at least twice as much.
Well, we got the best sea monster out of that too.
Go and harvest it.
Let's see what we get. He's probably gonna have might have drawn the giant Yeti. Got another yearling. So he's playing Yetis here, it seems. We'll drop in the Maokai here. Don't really feel like there's too much he could threaten me with.
The Blessed Isles live through me.
Oh. That's that's not good. It's fine. Yeah, you tell him, Yip. You tell him. That's a great draw. We can actually do some work here. I think we'll drop the dredgers first. Get ourselves a sapling here. We lost a Riptide. That's not the greatest.
Our strength is yours.
Our strength is yours. I think here we can go for. I think we'll just go for the Dead Bloom Wanderer.
Protect our grove.
So, Nautilus is looking pretty hype. We're getting really close to our deep status, which is what we want. This. Yeah, that's pretty smart. The goal here is to try and get as many people to 3 HP so we can block with this. We get ourselves a grasp.
You
for obliterate an enemy with less health than me. So it has to be less health. Do we have enough to get deep? Toss 4. He's gonna toss 2. So we actually have enough.
I have learned patience.
I have to target the lower health first. Damn. I guess we can target... this guy. My goal was to try and get this combo as I was picking my target so I could target this thing, but it didn't work out that way. I'm gonna go in for an attack here. We simply choose to block this. Block this. Block this. Block this.
You bad!
And we have ourselves Nautilus to follow up here, which I'm completely okay with. I don't think he really has a means to deal with Nautilus here, so I think we can just drop him.
Blood and salt.
Blood and salt. Let's go.
Vengeance from the sea.
The sea will devour you.
From the blighted lands.
This region combination doesn't run too many good ways to deal with Nautilus's thickness. Go ahead. Attack like this. Nautilus, attack! We got that count. I actually wasn't honestly paying attention to the Maokai level up either. So we were able to kill off the Yeti before he got to shuffle stuff into his deck. So he no longer gets the enraged Yeti. Or he could have still got it. I think, let me go check that real quick. Shuffle 2 enraged Yetis into your deck. So he could still have one if it got to the bottom of his deck, but yeah, I think this is pretty much game over. I mean, sure. He's gonna go ahead. He might have that one card that lets you kill a unit with 3 or less attack, which is completely okay. We're just gonna go for the Reckoning here. Go for the Grasp. Yeah, that's what I thought. We had so much available for us there.
These isles.
There's a victory won for deep. One of the problems if we're playing against Ionia is the obvious Will of Ionia, but I feel like we can keep the Maokai. I think holding Maokai and then keeping Jettison as well. Usually pretty solid. 2 salvages is not the greatest. Well, pass. Luckily, this isn't one of the aggro decks.
The spirit gives to those who
Eye of the Dragon, pretty standard. Pretty strong opening as well, seeing as we didn't get any of our cards. We're gonna have to. I think we have to go for this.
Take me for a spin.
We can potentially luck out and get a treasures as well, which would be really nice. Or not. So. I would like it if he didn't attack, but yeah. Unfortunately, this is a pretty powerful open. Let's see. 6 mana from him. There's really not a kill option. We have all of our Maokais. Wow.
These isles will be cleansed.
I mean, our opponent could have the Twisted Fates into some other Bilgewater tools, but for the most part. Okay, so he's gonna pick a card. Looking pretty rough here.
Optimal outcome achieved.
Oh, drew the Nautilus. We have all of our late game stuff here. Which is a little unfortunate.
the dark beckons.
Shadow Assassin. I think we're fine just throwing our other salvage. And I think we have 10 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we'll see what he does. Full open attack. Another pick a card. This is getting pretty scary. If he's running any form of ways to deal with this, that's kind of spooky. I think we have to go for this. I think that's something we just have to go for.
What is gained when you return malevolence?
Alright, this is pretty top tier.
Protect our grove.
6 mana. There we go. Let's get some tossing going. And we're already in deep. So now we just need to, I think, kill the Shadow Assassin here.
Give it a whirl.
Another slot bot. Slot bot's getting huge. Wow. So that's all 3 pick cards. He's drawing a storm of cards right now. Let's go ahead and end our turn. Pilfered Goods is gone. Nice. I'm okay with that.
Function call. Celebrate.
Alright, so we're in a very spooky
Much to
spot.
play for.
I mean, Will of Ionia is the scare card, so might as well just go for this.
Blood and salt.
Blood and swords. If he doesn't have Will, then
Vengeance from the sea.
we're in a pretty good spot.
And fury from the blighted lands.
My selection speaks for itself.
Oh. That's actually kind of scary, considering we're playing a deep deck, and we've gone deep. We're just gonna have to...
I'm not greedy. My friend.
Well, we know he got rid of one. Give him the Heimerdinger. Okay, well at least he got rid of the warning shot. So we can actually, depending on how these roll, we could maybe kill both of them. Okay, never mind. That's not gonna happen. Here we are at 11 cards. This is spooky. Let's do this. The ship porter got obliterated. That's not fun.
Safety.
He's gonna nab again. Never mind. So he didn't get an allegiance proc. That means Ionia card is on the top there. Honestly, so we have 10 mana.
Forward. I've learned patience. There you are.
Let's pick apart his board here. I think we can do this and then save the atrocity. So we have two of these atrocities now, so.
The depths take you.
Okay. Alright. I will play Devourer of the Depths. Devourer, obliterate him!
Soon enough.
Okay. 3 mana. We have Atrocity. And he's passing, let's go! Alright, so the goal here is to take that blocker.
Pull them under.
And then he has to block here, and then we get one of these in for free.
Blessed vengeance.
We have Atrocity mana. Searching. Okay, so we had enough mana for the Claws of the Dragon.
To your bill.
He lets this go through. Play it greedy.
Until you win.
There we go. Yeah, you gotta be greedy, my friend. Or you can't be greedy. And he's got no Will of Ionia, there's no way to stop this. GG. Let's go. Maokai will finish him.
We will heal these isles.
Yeah. Grab the dread. Throw him out. Got some blockers now. Would really like the Jaw Hunters so that we could potentially kill off the big 4-drop unit, but if not, it is what it is. Yeah, this is a pretty common deck right now, Noxus aggro. It's very straightforward, you don't have to think very hard, and it's, you know, pretty strong. Got a card, or is he just like making it look like he doesn't? My soon-to-day cat. Yeah, let's go. Oh, perfect, perfect, perfect. So we basically wait to drop this on his Basilisk Rider, which is the card that many of these guys are playing. I wonder how deep into That's kind of a problem.
Get the trash! Eat the trash!
Go ahead and play this. I wonder how deep into Shadow Isles this version is. I've seen a few different variants, so I should probably go look those up and make sure I'm catching them. I'm not really gonna. I don't think I should take this block. Oh, you get him, Von. You piss at him. They shall not disrupt our stuff. Alright, so we have a decision to make here. I wish I had that. Not really. So there's a big decision here versus the Dead Bloom versus this. I think we just go for the Dead Bloom. And if he's willing to trade the Disciple, then we are completely okay with that. If he plays another unit, we'll have to figure that one out, depending on what the unit is. Precious Pet. Does one trade with the Precious Pet? I feel like aggro doesn't take this trade. But at the same time, keeping the Dead Bloom on the field prevents him from doing free stuff with that. And we have Vile Feast for this Precious Pet. I think we'll pass.
Oh, I can't.
Let's get another one. Yeah. I think knowing that now from his hand, I 100% believe he would take this trade so that he can get free stuff with those. More of these is nice. There's the riders. Take this. Oh, he didn't get the proc. He has no overwhelm. Feels bad, man. Are we gonna go ahead and just kill this? Just Vile Feast. Yeah, right now we just want, you know, units, we want defense. We want to keep our health above 10 so Darius can't level up, because that's the scare factor right there. We do now have, we're getting closer to our bigger stuff, so once we gain access to that particular stuff, then there's a question, I think, if I should go in here for an open attack to kill off this rider. It doesn't have overwhelm, so we can actually just chump block it, and I think it might be beneficial for me to develop, or I'll just pass and see what he does. Could go in for this attack. I didn't want to attack. That's probably bad. Yeah. Because the goal here is to not give him the opportunity to play stuff on my turn because we have Challenger. And we kind of messed that up.
Let's see what you can do.
Yeah, is he gonna actually... he's kind of struggling here. I'll let that trade happen. Yeah, that was an inoptimal play, I feel. We'll see what he does here. And there's the one. Yeah, see, this is what I mean, right? We should have waited, because like if we waited and, you know, didn't give him this opportunity to free play this other one, like we'd be in a much better spot. But I do think for this we'll just draw some more cards here. Okay, Withering Wail. There's a Nautilus. I like that. All right, we can stabilize. We're still at full HP, and we can still trade the Jaw Hunters into this. Like, we're gonna take a lot of damage, but I'm okay with that. We could also next turn play the Thorny Toad, not the. All right. Curious what his hand is. A lot of stuff that feels real scary right now. One more turn. I really wish we were on 7, but yeah, we have to survive. Thankfully, he can't play Darius on this turn to end the game, and I think because of that, we should have a solid, opportunity to make this comeback.
Explosives primed.
We're pretty close to deep as well, so just kind of get that. This will save us a lot of health. Probably should have waited to see if he had some more 1-drops, but it is what it is. Ooh. Alright, so that's unfortunate. But now we are in a pretty comfortable spot. Okay. Open attacks here.
Reel him in. Fish out of water.
Do it this way. This will give us deep, because he's going to toss. There we go. Now we can play our Nautilus next turn.
Golden glory.
And that pretty much spells the end for our opponent, because Darius can't deal with Nautilus. Blood and salt. I played the Nautilus, the terror of the deep. And we'll also have access to this now.
Best friends now, huh? Coming in hot.
Coming in hot.
Go and harvest it.
Not really. I don't think we need to. Forward. We have next turn. We have some healing for next turn. We're going to start dropping some big sea monsters. Now this will level up Darius though, but next turn we will have the ability to just shuffle him back to the deck. So. Oh, if he has Atrocity. Yeah, he might have Atrocity. We have to be real careful. Alright, there's one of the estimates. One card left. One card left. What are you gonna do? Oh, that's a good card. Wow. That's also a good card. Wow.
Something for 'em.
Fucking harrowing. What the hell?
Pay the
Let's go for this.
Oh, this hurts.
Okay. Okay. It sucks that this is the only unit on the field. Because we can't Withering Wail to heal. Alright. Alright. So we'll have 9 mana, so we can play these two. I think we go for an open swing with Nautilus and the Shipwreck Hoarder. Open swing. Hopefully these two trade. But he's gonna have to trade. He has to trade with these two. What's our top deck? A 1 mana card. That's risky. If he has another Decimate, we lose. If we go for that, yeah. I think we have the ability to play around some stuff, so I think we should.
Come here, darling. Is that all?
All right. Whew. We can't go below 5 mana. Honestly, we can't go below 9 mana. Yeah. Now we can.
See how handsome I do?
Ideally, we top deck Atrocity. That's the ideal spot. Or that.
Fuse is lit!
Fuse is lit. See what this gives us. The treasure trove. Oh, let's go.
Victory at any cost!
I'm just gonna do this. One to an allied follower, create a copy of it. Now we can just go for this. Let's go, get RNG'd. Does this heal my Nexus? No, that sucks. Alright. I was trying to just make sure that I played every single one of those so that we didn't lose value, but let's go. Do I keep the Maokai? I think this is actually really greedy. Yes. I should have dropped the Maokai. Oh, he's got Banyip too.
I have my orders.
Luckily we did get the Toad. So this can help us with some of these early one drops.
They'll never see it coming.
Alright. Wow. Please stop calling me random people. Alright, we'll drop the Horny Toad. I'd really like a Vile Feast.
Reporting in.
Would definitely like a Vile Feast. He even got the card back. Arcade. He's running pure Arcade. Withering Whale is also cool in my book. So he passes. We will not. You will take the pass actually, because I want to get Maokai. So I have 2 Withering Whales. He's gonna likely open attack here.
First big mission.
Maybe we should have played the Wanderer. That would be such a solid card right now.
War Mason, reporting for duty. For the glory of Noxus.
He's gonna give the Teemo the buff, so.
Shake 'em.
Yeah, there's no way you don't buff Teemo.
The hunter.
Assuming he has the transfusion, that is. Doesn't. Nice. I am really happy that he did not have the transfusion. I think we'll go ahead and play the Maokai now.
These isles will be cleansed. Fuse is lit.
We got the Grenadier. We'll bank all of this for spell mana so that we can Withering Whale. I didn't pay attention to which side of the hand he top decked that from, but that could have been a top deck for this, meaning he still doesn't have transfusion. Alright, so we have to hope that he doesn't have Darius. We do have this now, so this is what we use with the Darius.
Just gonna put this here.
This is why we run this card in particular, is to if he. Oh, he's not playing Darius. Derp. I forgot this was the other version of the deck. I've been playing against the Darius aggro deck so much that I completely forgot we're playing against the more traditional burn aggro that comes in pretty crazy. So I'm okay with this though. That's pretty good stabilization, though dropping both of the grasps is kind of annoying. So I think we'll go ahead, since we're at 4-6, yeah. Next turn we'll play the Nautilus. And that's how we'll get a challenger unit. There we go. This will help us get closer to deep.
Won't find better this side of the sun.
Okay with that. That's 2 of those. He is in Noxus? He's gonna Mystic Shot. Okay. A little unfortunate, but that's the Mystic Shot not going to face. And now we have the Nautilus. So this should give us enough to stabilize. 12 HP with Tough. There's a lot of high powerful things that we can block that normally would. This deck does have more over the top, so like Mystic Shots, Get Excited. So that is kind of annoying, but there's Decimates.
Blessed vengeance.
Another day in the field.
Ooh, that's not good. I think we could deal with Teemo. We have a stun, and this will shuffle him back to the deck.
Armed and ready.
Yeah, we're just gonna play this. No means to prevent this. I play Riptide. Not only return stunning your enemy, or your unit, or your Teemo, but throwing him back into the deck altogether. Okay. He's looking for a lot of his reach tools.
Give me the stuff! Stuff makes happy!
Should be able to get closer to the deep. Yep, I think that should give us deep. Oh, that was kind of weird. It just like skipped over the level up animation. Yeah, we should have enough tools here to kind of make this comeback happen. I do want to go for potential draw. Let's see what he gets. So there's a Decimate. Okay. So I will go ahead and draw because I want to try and find a little bit of healing. Okay. So that kind of sucks that we didn't find the healing that we were looking for. I'm actually gonna play the code because if he has anything that's not, if he has his third Decimate, which is pretty low odds, then we just lose. But if he has Get Excited or Mystic Shot, then we can win. There we go. There we go. There we go. Let's go. Let's go, because this is a fast speed spell. If he would have done that during combat, so this is the best way for us to overcome the burn. Besides the single, you know, the third copy of Decimate, which is a very unlikely case. Go ahead, swing in with everything. Nautilus finished him. Oh, the kitty cat's laughing. Mwahaha. Filthy bird players. We crush them. Oh, Lux and Braum. This means this will likely be a Poro deck. But it's no Shadow Isles, so we actually don't have... He doesn't have any way of dealing with Nautilus. Meaning we're keeping Nautilus. I like this opening. Not really. I would like a little bit of some of my earlier stuff, but this is okay. Yeah, this is a pretty interesting deck, I think. Poros are kind of okay. They're still pretty memey, but they are certainly somewhat viable with the Braum, with the new Braum buff. Braum in general is just an insane card now. Like, he literally jumped up like 5 tiers of like power. I think I'll just go ahead and open swing. Don't have... He might go for the Catalyst if he's going... Okay. Or the Remembrance. I half expected Remembrance. It's a pretty common round 3 play for this deck. The unfortunate thing is we can't really do anything against the Radiant Guardian, so... Yeah.
Their guilt is evident.
So we definitely do not want to play Maokai into this. Gonna get a big hit off.
Stand, you have no alibi.
Gonna get a big hit off here.
The Isles will bloom again.
And we can play the Jaw Hunters, I think. Hopefully we draw into like a Vile Feast or something.
Vessel small, but she ain't lacking
Oh,
courage.
never mind. It's at the bottom of the deck. This is kind of spooky. He has a good amount of mana to defend.
Fell into him.
I refuse to wilt.
Oh, harsh winds. Ouch. Ouch. Okay, there's another Maokai. I'd really like something like that, man.
My cause, you can't outrun justice.
We're pretty close to our deep. Unfortunately, we're also pretty low on HP. I could go for another Maokai, honestly. This will set up pretty nicely for Nautilus. I think that's what I'll do.
These Isles will be cleansed.
Because we can go for Dredge, and we also have 1 banked mana for Jettison. So like we're pretty much guaranteed at this point to play the Nautilus. Or get the Nautilus. Yeah, there's all of our damage removal at the bottom of our deck, unfortunately. So he will toss 2, which will give us deep.
Vengeance from the seas.
And all 3 Vile Feasts have been tossed. Rip.
From the blighted lands.
Oh. Nautilus.
Blood and salt.
The sea will devour. We're in a pretty decent spot, I would say. I like drawing the Withering Whale.
I tire of waiting.
Drawing the... We're going for retreat. So that's a Lux or a Braum. If it's a Lux, then he does have a barrier. And I think... Do I want to challenge this guy? I think so.
Stay back.
Now this could be a little spooky if he has another Radiant Guardian. That's another... That's two. That's two of them. So...
Pushing my limits.
hopefully that should be the last we'll see. When it comes to... whatever that was called. What's the name of that card? Harsh Winds, that's it. Okay. Now we can kill our next Maokai. Yep. But now we're more so worried about our Nautilus like getting a lot of value, which we can certainly make or achieve. And we have one copy of Maokai left, who's about to potentially level up, so we can just wait until he wants to level up to drop him. I like seeing that. We can get some work done.
Illuminate the enemy.
Okay.
Stand and you have no alibi.
I could go for... let's just block.
My goal.
Let's go ahead and devour this one. So we got 5 HP. Could go for the... We have a lot of... like all of our... Ooh, Borealis. So that's gonna give him a lot of stuff. Purify. Okay. Alright, so we win.
Is worth at least twice as much. Stare at the abyss.
And it's time.
Stare back.
Face the onslaught of the sea. No. The power of the sea will destroy and dismantle you. Yeah. And there it is, baby. Gold. With sea monsters.